Jai Gurudev. Did you do your homework? I gave you homework, remember? Did anybody do their homework? This is a yes. So page 246, let's begin with page 246. Yeah. Who's going to start reading? The person who has not done the homework is the person who has to start reading. हाँ Sandesh, करो.
Musunda continued, by the regular and systematic practice of pranayama, as described by me, I have gained the state of purity and I am not disturbed even when the Mount Meru or the North Pole is shaken. This state of samadhi or total equanimity is not lost, whether I am walking or standing, whether I am awake, asleep or dreaming. In all conditions of life, I rest in the self and with the self. With my vision turned upon itself, whatever changes may take place in the world or in the environment. Thus, have I lived right from the time of previous cosmic dissolution? I do not contemplate either the past or the future. My attention is constantly directed to the present. I do what has to be done in the present without thinking of the results, without consideration of being or non-being, desirable or undesirable. I remain in the self. Hence I am happy, healthy, and free from illnesses.
Okay. So here is your real answer, Arunanti. Right here. Right? By the regular and systematic practice of pranayama, as described by me, I have gained the state of purity. Yeah? And I am not disturbed even when the Mount Meru or the North Pole is shaken. Where is this Mount Meru? Have you ever heard of a Mount Meru?
You said center of the earth, right? Center of the universe, sorry.
Center of the universe. Yeah? It's not on planet Earth. Yeah? So there is a different cosmology. You can study that in the Bhagavatam. If we ever pick up the Bhagavatam in future, we can do it. The cosmology of the entire universe. It's like the entire geography of the universe. The universe is more than my little planet Earth. Yeah? My little planet Earth is just one little marble in this entire universe. Yeah? The universe is huge. The center of this entire universe is the Mount Meru. Yeah? It's the North Pole of the universe, not of planet Earth. Yeah? So he's saying, even if that is shaken, I am not shaken. Yeah? Sambhava. It doesn't matter whether something that I desire happens or something that I don't desire happens. It doesn't matter who gets elected, who doesn't get elected. It doesn't matter what things go according to my wishes and what things don't go according to my wishes. Yeah? He has reached a stage where wishes don't come up. Yeah? For you, wishes come up and then you fight with the wish and then you say no raga, no dvesha, there is this struggle and then you drop it. He has reached a higher stage where it doesn't even come up. There's nothing to fight with. There's nothing to put down. Are you seeing this? It's a higher stage. He is not shaken means it doesn't even come up. A desire or a wish doesn't even arise. Yeah? The state of samadhi or total equanimity is not lost whether I am walking or standing, whether I'm awake, asleep or dreaming. Yeah? This is very important. Equanimity, okay, I can maintain when my eyes are open, when I'm awake. But what about when I'm dreaming? It's not in my hands in the night when I'm asleep. What dreams come? Yeah? But somebody who has learned to become aware, 100% aware in the present moment, from moment to moment to moment, that person develops the ability to take this awareness into sleep and into dreams. And the moment a dream begins, there is this awareness, oh, this is a dream. And that dream drops. It's not in words, oh, this is a dream. I'm just being emphatic. It's a realization that it's the mind coming up with a thought. Dream is nothing but a thought. Something that got unfulfilled during the day, I see it happen in the night in my dream. Yeah? When I raise my consciousness to a level where I'm aware, even in the dream, I can maintain my equanimity. Yes? I'm not disturbed then by anything that can happen in life, whether good or bad. Yeah? What is. That is equanimity. That is sambhava. Yeah? In all conditions of life, I rest in the self and with the self, with my vision turned upon itself. Whatever changes may take place in the world or in the environment. See, there is a lot of clarity here. He's not confused about who he is. He knows I am the self and I've got nothing to do with this body and this body's environment. Yeah? Who runs this nation, what happens in politics, whether good things happen or bad things happen, everything is related to this body. Mushunda says, I have this awareness that I am not this piece of Prakriti. So whatever happens in this external environment has got nothing to do with me. Yeah? I am not shaken. Yeah? I rest in the self, with my vision turned upon itself. Yeah? This is the way to live life. All the time, moment to moment. Good people or bad people, happy situation at home or not so happy situation at home. Doesn't matter. What is. If it has come my way, it has to do with my karma. Yeah? I have created it. I will have to go through it. It's best that I go through it with equanimity. Otherwise, what happens?
More karma
You build more agami seeds.
Perfect. I will throw out agami seeds just by my this restlessness. Oh, this should not happen. Just this desire, this is wrong, is a seed I throw out. Yes? Stop throwing these seeds. Pick them back up. At least, you have an option of picking it up immediately. Yeah? You are about to get angry. You stop yourself, go back in. Yeah? Take that first step. At least learn to take it back, take it back, take it back. You'll come to a point one day where that maturity happens where, oh, it's so silly to react. Yeah? Let me not even say this, that this is not what I want. Then that throwing of the seed only doesn't happen. Before the throwing, you know. Yeah? And then you come to a point where nothing affects you. You become unshakable. This happens in stages, okay? Yeah? Give yourself that much patience and time. You don't say, oh, it has to happen now only. Yes, don't put pressure on yourself. Some people on the spiritual path tend to pressurize themselves, and in that pressure, suppression happens. This is not suppression what we are talking about. Oh, I have a desire to eat that and I'm suppressing myself. No. It's not that. It is a maturity, recognition of that's not good for me, it's just the silly mind. And then that desire itself fades away. I'm not pushing it down. You see the difference between suppression and maturity? Yeah? That is very important. And It's a very subtle line. I can explain it very easily, but for you to recognize it when it comes up, it's so difficult. Am I suppressing myself right now, or is this maturity? That only you can know. Yeah? Ego and mind, very smart they are, no? They'll say, no, this is suppression. You have that ice cream, or you do that thing that you want to do. Yeah? So be wary of your own ego. Be wary of your own mind, because it runs behind this desire, that desire, wants to grab. Yeah? It's a very, very subtle line inside between maturity and suppression. Yeah? You start working on yourself. Can you recognize the difference? Right now, what I did I suppress myself, or did this wise action come from maturity? Homework number 1. Then Bhushunda says, I do not contemplate. Okay, I missed one line. Thus have I lived right from the time of the previous cosmic dissolution. I do not contemplate either the past or the future. My attention is constantly directed to the present. I do what has to be done in the present without thinking of the results, without considerations of being or non-being. Desirable or undesirable, I remain in the self. I am happy, healthy, and free from illness. This is very important. How do you really fall sick? It's a seed in you, yeah, which says that, oh, I'm not well. Something is not right in me. The seed, they say in Ayurveda, they really have a way of figuring this out. They say that 6 months before the seed is implanted by you, you think that you will have a flu. Oh, everybody has a flu, I am going to get the flu. Just a thought like that. Nothing happens to you that season. But 6 months later, you get that flu. When the flu season is probably gone. Yeah? You plant seeds like this of disease, of ill health, by your own fears, he says. Yeah? But he is above desirable and undesirable. So he doesn't even have fear of flu. So when you don't have that fear of flu, what happens? Such a thought will never come. It doesn't exist. It's not there in your consciousness. Yeah, like for example, there is never a thought in your consciousness that I should go out and play kabaddi. Do you ever have such a thought? Kabaddi, what are you talking about? First of all, I don't understand the word kabaddi. Yeah, do you see that? It's not in your consciousness. Yeah, so such a thing never happens to you. That's the meaning of being in your consciousness or not being in your consciousness. Yeah, a fear of something happening is already there in you. That thing happens, has to happen. Yeah, a hatred in your heart. I don't want to see this person's face ever in my life. I'm never going to call him. I'm never going to drive that way. Yeah, definitely you're going to meet that person at a party. Yeah, you attract something that you are averse to. Yeah, that is what brings ill health. Yeah, that's what brings us illness, he says. Very clearly he says the way to get out of illness is how? Be in the present. Drop the past, drop the future. What does this mean? I will fall sick. Oh, everybody has flu. I will fall sick. This is?
Future.
Future.
I just created my future in my head. Even if it is dreamlike. Yeah, this entire life is a dream. You will one day wake up and realize you dreamt this, that is why you are in the situation you are. You are with the people, you are in US and not in India because of this reason that you dreamt this. Everything is a figment of your imagination. That's how we create our own future. If you want to drop creating your own future, the only way is living in the present moment. There is no other option. Now you cannot say, oh, I will create only the happy future and not create the sad future. Is it possible? Not possible. Two sides of the same coin. Yeah? If I say I don't want flu, what am I saying?
I want to be healthy.
I want to be healthy. I want good health. Both together. Yeah? If I say I want $1 million, what am I also saying?
I want to be poor.
I don't want to be poor. Both are coming together. It cannot be separated. So when you have a sukha, the dukkha is the tail of that sukha. It is attached. You cannot separate the sukha from the dukkha. That tail will come. You have to pay a tax for it. Got it?
I have a question.
Huh.
So, if you don't have desires or something, like the future will still happen, right? Things will happen to you in the future, but it's just you don't get impacted by that because you are in the present.
Perfect.
You always live in the present.
Yes.
Because suppose I don't have a thought that I'll get sick or something, and in the future I can still fall sick, but it doesn't mean that because of the thought I felt sick, but it may be because even if I fall sick, I may not get impacted by that.
Correct. That is true. Yeah. There could be seeds from my past life which can sprout in the form of sickness, but that also happened in the past life. So in the past life I did some creation of my future, living in the future. It is impossible to be in this body. It is impossible to even take a form, a prakriti form, without having desires. Got it? So if we are in this prakriti form, it is because we had desires in the past. Those desires have led to this body. Yes? Now, if we want to get out of the bondage of coming back into this body again and again and rise to a higher level of consciousness, the only way is to drop desiring. Got it?
But when when we have enlightened persons, they come by their own choice, and so whatever we say is that basically they're working, but they are always in the present, but the work keeps on going.
Yes.
So that because of the seeds, right?
Yes.
That's a different thing?
Yes, that is different. They have come only to help us understand that because of desiring, we are in this dreamlike state and we are lost in birth, death, and we keep moving from one lifetime to another. They've come just to educate us, but they also go through rajas, tamas, sattva. Yes, they also go through sickness of this body, but they are not desiring anything. Yeah, they will go through the natural old age of the body. You cannot expect them to be like a baby throughout their 70, 80, 100 years that they live. The body is going to age. The body will go through its natural rajas, tamas, sattva, because of which it might have a natural weakness, a natural thing, but it will not be because of the seed of desire from previous lifetime. That is the difference between being liberated and being bound. Yeah? It's not that they won't fall sick. That body will fall sick, but it will not be the sickness that you and I experience because of, oh, I don't want to get this. Immediately I attract it to myself. Yeah? It will be the natural weakness of that body. Yeah? Environmental impact only, not internal impact. Yeah? We'll read ahead.
Yeah. How do you, going back to this real quick, how do you really know whether it's an environmental impact or it's something you have seeded in you? That's a very subtle, it's a very interesting.
Yeah.
There'll be another homework, I know.
Well, this will be difficult for you to decipher, but if you look at Gurudev, huh, you'll hardly see him sick. Not that he's never fallen sick. I have seen him, he came once to the Bangalore ashram and he had come from Canada or somewhere where it was extremely cold that time and he was sneezing. So that I could figure out environmental impact. Got nothing to do with body disease. Yeah? He just had a cold. Yeah? It was just simply environmental impact. Somebody serves Guruji not so good food, it will come out. Yeah, obviously if Gurudev is in a extremely cold environment, suddenly temperature change, India may it's all warm, abroad it's extremely cold, he does all this travel, so that also affects the body. Clear? Very simple, it will be an environmental impact, it won't be a full-fledged disease.
Okay.
Read it.
Right. Yes. My state is the fruit of contemplation of the moment of union of prana and the apana when the self is revealed. I do not entertain vain notions like I have obtained this and I shall gain that. 2. I neither praise nor censure anyone, neither myself nor others, nor anything at any time. My mind does not exult on gaining what is considered good, nor does it become depressed on obtaining what is considered evil. When my state of happiness and health, hence my state of happiness and health, I embrace the supreme renunciation, having renounced even the desire to live. Thus my mind does not entertain cravings, but is peaceful and balanced. I behold the one common substratum in all things. A piece of wood, a beautiful woman, a mountain, a blade of grass, ice, fire, and space. And I'm not worried by thoughts like, what shall I do now? Or what shall I get tomorrow morning? I'm not bothered by the thoughts of old age and death, or by longing for happiness. Nor do I regard some as mine and others as not mine. I know that everything at all times, everywhere, is but the one cosmic consciousness. These are the secrets of my state of happiness and health.
Yeah. Here, very important law, the law of opposites. Everything in this creation is made in opposites. Good, bad, happy, sad, right, wrong. There is nothing you can find which doesn't have the other opposite side. Yeah, this is one law of creation. Yeah. He says that if I hold on to one, it is impossible that the other will not come to me. Yes? If I grab one, the other will come. There is no other way out. So I have learned the skill of dropping both. Clear? This basic, if this is clear, then you understand the full paragraph. My state is the fruit of contemplation of the moment of union of the prana and apana when the self is revealed. What is then between the prana and apana? The kumbhaka, the silence. Yes, the self. That is where I am. He's always there. Now this gap to meditation that you are doing, it's not just for you to meditate or for a few minutes experience silence within. No. It is for you to understand that between the prana and apana there is this state of no mind. And that's where you get established. Yes? The ultimate goal is to get established in that no mind state. No mind means no mind. It does not go for this or that. No swinging from this side to that side. Absolutely still in the center. That is the state which is between prana and apana. Yeah? That's where he says he is established. I do not entertain vain notions like I have obtained this and I shall gain that too. Yeah? Obtained it in the past. I will gain future. Are you seeing this? Our mind is constantly between the two opposites. Yeah? Be here in the now with what is. I neither praise nor censure anyone, neither myself nor others, nor anything at any time. Praise, yeah, you say, wow, you're so great, putting somebody else up or praising your own self, oh, I am so great. Yeah? Or anything, oh, this thing is so wonderful. On the other side, I don't even disapprove of anything. Don't put anything down. Yeah? What is. I'll tell you a story about Lao Tzu. Lao Tzu was a Chinese master. Very few disciples went to him. But one disciple was like really earnest. He said, I really want to be with this person. And Lao Tzu would not take just anybody. Yeah, he was very picky who he is going to teach and train. So one disciple really was seeking a lot. So Lao Tzu said, okay, you just come, be with me for some time. It was around sunset in the evening and Lao Tzu just went and stood by his huge veranda he had, and it was a very beautiful scenery outside. The sun was setting. He just stood there and watched the sunset, set. Whatever 20-25 minutes, he was quiet and standing there. This disciple was waiting. Something will happen. He'll say something. Something will happen. Okay, I might only have to start this conversation. In his own head, he's going on and on. Lao Tzu's just standing there, admiring the sun. Then the disciple says, what a beautiful sunset, no? I had seen this, a similar sunset like this, few years ago. And that moment Lao Tzu turned around and said, please go away. The disciple was like, did I make a mistake? What? I'm sorry, I don't get it. He said, you just ruined the moment. It is what is. Just be with what is. There is no need to describe it, because the moment you describe it, your mind comes in the way. You are not a qualified disciple for me. Leave. Lao Tzu did not teach him. Yeah. Even to be accepted at Lao Tzu's ashram or whatever you call it, that center, you had to have equanimity. Yeah? The titiksha, the forbearance to be in absolute silence and to be with what is. Now you understand equanimity? Yeah? Where the mind does not swing right and left. Or even if it swings right and left, you don't give in to the mind swinging right and left. So much so that it stops doing this right, left. it comes to the center. Clear? My mind does not exult on gaining what is considered good, nor does it become depressed on obtaining what is considered evil. Hence my state of happiness and health. Yeah? So happiness cannot be attained by tilting towards what I gain, what gives me pleasure, what is tasty to eat, what is nice to hear. No. Because with sukha comes dukkha. He's talking about ananda. Ananda is higher than sukha. Yeah, because sukha always has a tail of dukkha. Ananda does not have an opposite. Ananda is in the center, yeah, where the mind is still. He's talking about that happiness and health. I embrace the supreme renunciation, having renounced even the desire to live. Yeah? You were born, or you have taken this form because of Jiveshana. Remember, we've done Jiveshana in the Upanishads before? Yeah? That desire to live is there. Yeah? He's saying, because I don't have the desire to live, I've been living forever. This seems so contradictory, no? He's been living for what, hundreds of years now? Yeah, thousands of years. He's seen a creation, and then he saw it evolve, and then he saw the dissolution. But he was still alive. Again he saw another creation, and then evolution, then dissolution. He's lived for ages together. Yeah? But he says, I do not have the desire to live even. There's your key to immortality. That is the only way that you can become immortal. That is the only way that you can become really happy, by not even wanting happiness. That want only is not there. That want to live is only not there. That does not mean that you want to die, huh? That is also a want now. Opposite nahi. You either hold this opposite or that opposite. No desire to live, no desire to die. No desire. Do you get that? Yeah. So he says, I don't even have a desire to live. Thus my mind does not entertain cravings, but is peaceful and balanced. I behold the one common substratum in all things, whether it is a piece of wood, a beautiful woman, a mountain, grass, ice, fire, space. I am not worried by thoughts like, what shall I do now, or what shall I get tomorrow morning? Yeah? See how your mind works. Do you see a same substratum in everything and every person? Yeah, this is a human, this is a computer, this is a table, this is a lamp. Yeah, so many divisions in the mind. Can you see the consciousness everywhere, in everyone and everything? Yeah, when you start looking at it, oh, it's the same consciousness everywhere. Then you are looking at the substratum. Now, why are we not able to see this? Because in the deepest of meditation, we have still not experienced that I am not this body, I am just a ball of prana. The deep meditation that I keep talking about, that has to happen. You have to make an effort towards that. Yes. Come what may, every day I sit just by myself and observe the prana. Observe the breath in and out, and just go deep within. We'll take this gap to meditation a little higher in Bhagavad Gita. Yeah? Maybe that helps you observe that you are just a ball of prana. When you recognize, oh, I am nothing but prana, just vibrations, there is no body, then you can actually experience that vibration everywhere. It's not limited to this. And when you see it everywhere, then that realization comes, oh, it is the same consciousness in that particular thing or that particular human or that particular plant sitting there. That understanding seeps in. That understanding is what can really take you to this level that Bhushunda is talking about. Yeah? It doesn't matter whether it is a thing or a human being. Same substratum. Yeah? And he says he's not bothered by thoughts like, what shall I do now, or what shall I get tomorrow morning? Yeah? No thoughts of old age, death, no longing for happiness. Have you noticed? You long for happiness. ये मिल जाए ना तो मैं बहुत खुश हो जाऊंगा. Don't you say that? This one thing I have to get, then I'll be very happy. Really? When you really get it, what happens? The mind has already made a goal for something else by the time I actually achieve this first thing. I don't experience that joy. Now my mind is thirsting for something else. Yeah? This will continue. This galloping continues. You are never in the present. That's why you never experience the joy. Yeah? So recognize this. Wake up to this. Drop this longing only. Nor do I regard some as mine and others as not mine. I know that everything at all times, everywhere is but the one cosmic consciousness. When everything is the same cosmic consciousness, then what to desire for this and that? Everything is the same. Yeah? This understanding has happened in Bhushunda. These are the secrets of my state of happiness and health. Take 1 minute, 1 moment. Just go through the whole paragraph and commit to yourself at least one swinging that you're doing. Good, bad, right, wrong, happy, sad. Which one are you going to start working on? Just start with one. Promise yourself one swinging I'm going to stop. And you tell me which one you're going to stop. Bolo.
So for me, it's the whole planning part, like what shall I do tomorrow?
Okay.
So, everything has to be like figured out instead of being more spontaneous. So that's my goal to work on first, just not to worry about it.
Okay. Good.
I will not praise anyone.
Okay. And not yourself also, huh? There it says others, myself, or anything.
You said one thing at a time.
No. That's very smart. I will not praise, period. Everything. Yeah? And not praise also, and then I will not put somebody or something down also. I won't disapprove of something. Both the sides. Bolo, Sandesh.
I decide to be happy with what is.
Perfect. Perfect, Arunati. Sandesh.
Yeah, I was just saying, I had this habit of, this is not in the right direction, so trying to improve it. So going forward, I'll just, okay, whatever it is I'll just observe, see, maybe that person or that people or that group will just improve by themselves if they have to.
It doesn't mean you stop action, huh? You take the action, the expectation in the mind that that person should listen to me needs to drop. Got it? We have to take actions. Otherwise, you all will say, oh, she said not to take any action. No. Yeah? In the middle. Neither tilting to no action, neither tilting to feverishness with action. Yeah? In the center is do action and then drop the feverishness, drop the expectation. No mind. Okay. Anybody else wants to share?
I think part of the struggle becomes the, like, right, 3 or 4 lines about what shall I do now? Was where you said, you don't go on this side or you don't go on that side. You just stay in the center. Like no desire. I don't desire to live, but I don't desire to die either. But then a person like me is like, okay, what do I do then?
Exactly.
like, Kujli, like I can't go here. What do I do? It's an uncomfortable place to be.
Exactly. That's where you have to be. Got it? It is the tendency of the mind to do or not do. Not doing is also doing. Yeah? It's a tendency of the mind to really keep running, thirsting, being feverish. It hates that state of being in the center because in the center is no mind. That's where you start feeling uncomfortable. Oh, now what? What should I do? Yes, that's where you have to practice to be. That's exactly where you have to get established. Understood? Even if one thing you master, exactly one point that you picked, if you master that, you will master everything else in life. All the other laws, all the other opposites, you will be able to master. Just master that one thing that you picked up. You're getting it? Be in that restlessness. It is the restlessness of the mind. The mind wants to do. Yes? It hates the situation of not doing. That is why you dream so much in the night. Yeah? It has become the master like this. You take a step back, be in the center. I'm not going to go this way and I'm not going to go this way. I'm just going to be in the center. Do what you want to do. The mind is going to be restless. It's going to try to pull you here or pull you here. Yeah? You don't get pulled this way or that way. Just be in the center. Just be in that restlessness. It will burn you. It will burn you. Let it burn you. After a while, the mind has to shut up. That burning will stop. But you have to go through that phase of burning. You're understanding what I'm saying, no? Yeah? It's that phase of restlessness. You have to go through it. When you come out to the other side, you will experience the total silence. Now this that I described will not happen in your first try. Forget about it. Many attempts are required. Because mind will succeed in pulling you into this thought or that thought. Yeah? Even if it is just a thought about tomorrow, like Prashanjit said, I will not worry about tomorrow, but the thought will come. It will pull you. You might not take an action in that direction, you might drop. But still, you got pulled in thought, in mind. Yeah? You have to come back to the center. Again, this way it will pull. You come back to the center. This war will happen for a while. Yeah? Then a point will come where it recognizes that you are not reacting. There is this restlessness, but you are not reacting. Yeah? And that's where the mind gives up. And then you experience that total silence. That it's like a melting feeling. It cannot be put in words really. It's as if inside something has a shift. A total shift happens inside you. It's cannot be described.
Yeah, we give in way too early. So
Yeah, that giving in, that is the weakness. The mind knows this weakness of yours and it plays with you. Don't give in. The entire spiritual exercise is only to make the intellect sharper and stronger than the mind. The day your intellect, even 1% it becomes sharper and stronger than the mind fails. It is a war against the mind, really. The day your mind gets defeated in this battlefield, the day you come out victorious, then there is no way to go back to that. Yeah? But you have to go through that phase of burning, that battle inside. Yeah? And it's going to be a big yuddha, ghamasam yuddha, not a little teeny weeny argument. No. It's really a big war inside that you have to go through and not give up. Yeah?
I just wanted to add one other experience or sharing. It's a combination of mind, your ego, and memory. You are doing this dhamakar yuddha with. It's not just the mind alone. That's why it's very subtle and it's very powerful.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. You want to read ahead?
Yeah, I can finish the page.
everyone did not share.
Huh? We didn't complete.
Oh, she didn't complete.
No, everyone did not share.
Oh, everyone did not share. I completed the paragraph.
Oh, okay.
Mitesh
It's
is
okay,
good, huh?
Mitesh. सबका सुन के ही सोएगा क्या?
Yeah, accountability. Yeah, this if there is no accountability, yeah, as it is there is no accountability. तो homework तो करता नहीं है.
है ना, टीचर है ना सामने, जान दे, ज़्यादा टेंशन मत ले.
Bolo. Does anybody else want to share?
For me, it's also planning.
Huh.
Yeah, sometimes it's too much planning for kids, classes.
Planning happens in the present moment. Planning के बाद जो expectation,
yes.
dream-like. Oh,
Yeah.
this will happen, then that will happen. What if this happens? Oh, this should not happen. This is all dream-like phase about the plan that I did in the present moment. You plan, but then don't get lost in this big manohar kahani of your own. Yeah.
So, the thoughts of old age and death, or longing for happiness, are these the two opposites?
So, death again, opposite is jiveshna, life. Yeah. Why do you long for happiness? Again, sukha, and opposite is dukkha. So, you have equated death with dukkha and
Oh,
life with sukha.
okay.
Yeah, that is why there is this big fear of death. Yeah, even if there's a little fear in you, even if there's a fear of crossing the road, actually see at the core of it, what is there? Fear of death is there. Yeah, you don't realize it. You say, oh no, I'm not worried about my death. I'm worried about my loved one's death. But that loved one is related to who? Is related to this body.
Yeah.
So actually, I have fear of death of this body only. Got it? Very smart your mind is, and your ego is very chalu. New things it comes up with. Yeah, you recognize this. Yeah.
Challenge. The chance was to say what you are going to do, not to ask a question.
She already said in her way. Life and death.
For me, it is withdrawing happiness from getting recognized or getting praise.
Okay. This is not only about praising, but even receiving that praise. Yeah, or receiving that disapproval. Very nice. Yeah? Not to get, not to go on this side of the pendulum when somebody praises you, And not to go on to that side of the pendulum when somebody criticizes you. Sambhava. What is, is.
To me, it would be to stop feeling bothered by receiving more responsibilities than I feel are being given to my peers, even though we're all supposed to be on the same level. It's been bothering me lately, so.
Okay. Being with what is. Yeah? This is again my definition of sukha, not getting too much to do. Yeah? Especially at work. We feel that we should work only that much, how much we are getting paid. Isn't this equation in your mind? Yeah? I get paid so much, I will only work so much. Yeah? Business-like kind of thing is there in the head. Yeah? Recognize this, that you have a karma with your boss. You actually have a karma with that company. You have a karma with the colleagues that you interact with on a daily basis. So even if certain responsibilities are coming on me, they are a part of my karma. Be with what is. Yeah? So that thing that happens in office where you get restless because of too much work, some people get restless on the other side. No work. I don't want to do this job, I'm leaving. Yeah? Whatever it is, less work, too much work, whatever it is, sambhava, my karma, be with what is. Yeah? There's sometimes if you don't have much work, what your mind starts doing, you know what, they're probably planning to fire you. That's why you're not getting enough responsibilities. Oh, see, my colleague has that project, this guy has that project, my boss is not giving me a project finished. I'm sure they are going to fire me. I'm telling you. This also happens. Again, your mind has gone to the other side. Recognize this. Very good point. See, this helps actually. Sharing helps. Good.
For me, I don't rejoice on getting something which I was not expecting, some good things, but I cannot accept evil things happening or any criticism. So that's something really hard for me to take. I don't get excited on anything
good,
happiness or something. It doesn't, I'm not getting exhilarated on that. Oh yes, thank God. But anything which is something I was not expecting that happens, it's just hard to.
Again, very good. Recognize we have to maintain samatha in every sukha and dukkha. Yeah? If dukkha has come my way, it is because I had chosen the opposite sukha. And this dukkha is just the opposite side of that coin. Can you pick up just the heads and not pick up the tails of the coin? Not possible, no? I picked up that coin long ago. I looked at the heads and I became very happy. One day it had to spin around, turn around. Yes, that time has come. Got it? You might not be able to correlate how this dukkha is related to that sukha or which sukha is it related to. You might not be able to correlate, and it's not even important for you to correlate because not necessary that this sukha and this dukkha happen in the same lifetime. There could be death in the middle, which becomes a wall between this dukkha and this sukha. So you cannot really correlate. Forget about it. Go through it. Whatever it is, how much ever it brings out pain in you, empty it out and be with it. I accept this. It is because of my karma. I will not react to it. Yes? Good. Yeah. Now let's go to the last paragraph.
Okay. I do not think I'm the body, even while engaged in physical activity, as I know this world appearance to be illusory and live in it as if fast asleep. I am disturbed neither by prosperity nor by adversity when they are granted to me, as I am regarded them with equal vision, even as I look upon both my arms as arms. Whatever I do is untainted by desire or the mud of ego sense. Thus, I do not lose my head when I am powerful or go begging when I am poor. I do not let hopes and expectations touch me, and even when a thing is old and worn out, I look upon it with fresh eyes as if it were new. I rejoice with the happy ones and share the grief stricken, for I am the friend of all. Knowing I belong to none and none belong to me, I know that I am the world, its intelligence and all the activities in it. This is the secret of my longevity.
Yeah. So again, he tells you the same thing in a different manner. Yeah. I do not think I am the body, even while being engaged in physical activity. This is very tough for us. Yeah. While I'm cooking, cleaning, working on the computer, working in the office, doing grocery shopping, I start identifying with this body that is doing that action. He's saying even while doing the action, this body is moving, but there is this constant recognition, I am that Purusha, that self, that witnessing consciousness, that is witnessing this hand go like that, pick up this, do this job, that is witnessing this ear hear something that the boss is saying, that is witnessing these lips respond back to the boss. It is witnessing everything that I'm typing, writing that email. Yeah? A complete Sakshi Bhava. That is the way to live. That is the only key to longevity, he says. There is no other way. That is also the key to Param Ananda. I know this world appearance to be illusory and live in it as if fast asleep. Yeah. When you are in the dream in the night and you suddenly recognize, oh, I was dreaming. You come out of your dream. Do you give any importance to that dream? You don't, right? You just let it go. It's over. Yeah? You don't fight like Mullah Nasruddin. Oh, I was going to buy it for $100 and the dream broke. You know that. You know that story, na? Where in the dream he was going to buy this second-hand bullock cart. Yeah, that's a very old fashion. You can think about a car here. Yeah. And it was like so broken down, but he was like, oh, it's a good deal. I can really work on it and make it really new and running well. So you think about a car and suppose you're getting a car for $200 and then Mullah Nasruddin is like, no, I'm going to give you only $60. And then the person says, okay, I'll give it to you for $150. No, I'll give you $75. He's saying, okay, last I'm giving it to you for $110. All this is going on in Mullah's dream. And Mullah was like just about to say, okay, I'll just tell him to finalize at 100. And he's just going to do that when he wakes up from his dream. And he was like, oh, I had already got that car. $100 and I would have gotten it. Yeah, do you do that? You recognize, no, it was a dream and you drop it. This life is a dream. You and I are in a dream. We are in each other's dream right now. We created this for ourselves. Yes, not just you and I, you and your family members and the extended family and your work and your art of living family. Everything is in a dream. It's all illusory. It's just a figment of the mind. It's an imagination. Yeah? You have nothing, you have really got nothing to do with this dream. This realization is there in Vasistha. Once this realization comes, you live this life as if it is a dream, as if you are fast asleep. What is the meaning of living it as if fast asleep? When you are fast asleep, are you attached to anything? Is there any raga? Even to your most lovable, beloved person, who you really love with your eyes wide open when you are in the waking state of consciousness, when you go to sleep, is that raga there? You tell me. Is that dvesha there in a deep sleep state? Nothing. No raga, no dvesha. That means no swinging. No holding to this side, no holding to that side. You are in a deep sleep state. That's how you should live life, he says. Got it? I am disturbed neither by prosperity nor by adversity when they are granted to me, as I regard them with equal vision, even as I look upon both my arms as arms. Yeah? Look at sukha or dukkha with equal vision. It doesn't matter whether it is desirable or not desirable for you. Yeah? Drop this desire only. What is. Yeah? Do you accept summer and winter as they are? Yeah? Do you go out and start fighting with the snow? Go and box up, start boxing the sky, go away? You don't, right? I know some people might have certain, oh my knees hurt when it starts snowing, and you start feeling all that disdain for snow, but still you don't go outside and start, fighting with the sky and screaming at the sky, right? There is one kind of acceptance with what is, that has happened with the climate, where you have recognized, I cannot control it, I cannot change it. There you have even dropped that inclination to control. That same thing apply to your personal life now. You think you can control it. Really, can you control your life? It's only your ego that wants to control. Yeah, that wants sukha, that doesn't want dukkha, wants things to happen this way only and not this way. But life is not in your control. Bring that same thing that you have for I cannot control the change of seasons to your own life. I cannot control the change of seasons that happens to me. So if God has to bring dukkha in my life in the form of family, in the form of friends, in the form of somebody in art of living, it's okay. I cannot control it. Drop this thing that you have. It's a false notion that you have developed, that you can control people around you, that you can change and improve things, that you can plan for your future. It's not in your control. Just an illusion. Just an illusion.
There's a small comment that I'm sure you must have heard the news of Narendra Modi pulling the plug on certain 500 and 1,000 rupees bills in India, right? So I had some cash here and I was like, what would happen tomorrow if, all our riches and everything, like all our riches is in banks or in something. What if it has no value tomorrow? And it is happening right now. The money that I have has absolutely no value. Okay. What will happen? Like it's just humbling to know that nothing you have has a value.
Beautiful, very nice. Yeah, didn't it make you feel, oh, I don't have control?
Yeah, and there is just nothing like, okay, maybe I should put it in gold. Like, okay, what is the guarantee that gold? It's like whatever you do, it's a gamble.
Yeah, it's not in your hands. This is exactly what we are going to discuss in Bhagavad Gita. Exactly this. Yeah, that life is not in your control. Yeah, you just think it is. Yeah, the same thing Vasistha is talking about. It's so amazing. I don't know how our Yoga Vasistha and our Bhagavad Gita is going hand in hand.
But he is doing the gap meditation.
Who?
Vasistha.
Uh-huh.
But nothing is in his control. He can stop that.
Auntie, you're not getting it. He's doing the no mind meditation. Gap meditation has been created by Ekta, not by Bhushunda. There's no word like gap meditation in all of Yoga Vasistha.
I know.
I just made it up.
Kumbhaka maybe, okay. But
he has just realized that one skill of being in no mind. That is the only place where he does not choose this or choose that. Choosing this and choosing that means I control this.
I have this question bothering me since a long time. What is self-effort? What is leaving everything?
Leaving everything is the self-effort. That is the only effort you have to make. Drop this, I have to do. I have to not do. I have to choose. I don't have to choose. I have to go this way or I have to go that way. Not doing is the self-effort. Dropping is the self-effort. Are you getting this? Why we teach you pranayam, vastrika, kriya? Because the mind wants to do. So you said, acha chalo, you do. Do for years and then you realize, oh, by doing it doesn't happen. And when you just drop and just in one day in your meditation, when you drop that feverishness from your mind, you reach that state of complete blank mind. That complete silence happens within you. That is the goal.
Maybe I don't have to do anything because I'm already that.
You don't have to do anything, exactly, but you don't realize it because the mind wants to do. Yeah?
Restless mind.
The restlessness of the mind has to stop. Got it? That wanting to do has to become silence. Only in that silence will you find the peace. That is the self-effort that is required. Got it? Yeah. All the other things around it are just because कैसे तो भी mind को occupied रखना है. Yeah, rather than being occupied in nonsense stuff. Yeah. You better be occupied in, doing something spiritual. In that doing, when you get really tired and you come to that state of not doing anything. Naturally, not out of disappointment, not out of dejection. Yeah? But just that absolute silence automatically happens. That is the effort you have to keep making. To reach there, you have to make an effort. Got it? So the only effort or the only purushartha is in dropping, in not doing. So he says, I do not think I am the body even while engaged in physical activity, as I know this world appearance to be illusory and I live in it as if fast asleep. I am disturbed neither by prosperity nor by adversity when they are granted to me, as I regard them with equal vision, just like I look at both my arms as arms. Whatever I do is untainted by desire or the mud of ego sense. Yeah? Ego is I. Desire is want. These are the two major criminals. Yeah? Ego is I Desire is also don't want. That is also desire. These are the only two major criminals. He says both of these are resting in me. They do not exist for me. I am untainted by them. Thus I do not lose my head when I am powerful. What happens to you if you are given one little position, one little responsibility? Oh, nobody like me. I am so great. See? The responsibility was given to me, not to you. Let's see what happens to the ego. Yeah? So he says, I don't lose my head when I am powerful. Or go begging when I am poor. What happens to us when something is not going the way we want it to go? Yeah? We actually thirst for appreciation, thirst for recognition, thirst for somebody's love. Yeah? Recognize this tendency in you. Yeah? This daridrata. Yeah? English doesn't do justice to this word. Really daridra we are. Really poor. Beggars. Yeah? Dushkar grahastha pranta. I don't know how to say it in English.
Famine-stricken mentality.
Famine-stricken mentality.
Lack.
Yeah. I want. So much I have still want. Yeah. It doesn't matter how prosperous really you are externally. Inside you are poor. So poor as if you were famine struck. Are you seeing this? Only from such a poor consciousness does that begging tendency come, or that desire to want or receive comes. I want this, I want this, I want this. Yeah? Recognize. Homework number 2. Are you famine stricken? Are you that poor inside? I do not let hopes and expectations touch me. Yes? Only a person who has a very poor consciousness has hopes, has expectations from others. And even when a thing is old and worn out, I look upon it with fresh eyes as if it were new. This is very beautiful, huh? He's not really just talking about old clothes. Yeah, look at your relationships. Look at your spouse especially. 5 years of marriage, 10 years, 20 years. Do you look at them with that same, अरे नहीं ये तो घर की मुर्गी दाल बराबर. There is no freshness, there's no newness when we look at anything. We have taken life for granted, we have taken things for granted. Why? Hidden behind this is really a thirst for something new. Observe this. Why do I take one person for granted? Hidden under it is a thirst for something new. Again, begging tendency, receiving tendency. I want something else. Yeah? It's not very apparent, it's very subtle and hidden, deep, buried under the ground, but it is there. Yeah? You don't take every relationship for granted. Huh? So recognize the difference between that relationship that you've taken for granted and the relationship that you have not taken for granted, and you go to the bottom of this. Homework number 3. What is the difference in me? I don't take this person for granted. Yeah, but this person I have taken for granted. Yeah, for example, you don't take your boss for granted. है ना? So now check. Little bit of introspection. Why am I not looking at this person with fresh eyes, with new eyes every time? I rejoice with the happy ones and share the grief of the grief-stricken, for I am the friend of all, knowing I belong to none and none belongs to me. This is so beautiful, absolute contradiction. I am the friend of everybody and then I don't belong to anybody. This is very beautiful. You have to understand one thing. Whoever you love in life, you actually also hate the person. You never are 100% there. Yeah? Have you seen the diagram of yin and yang? Means in goodness there is a little bit of bad, and in bad there is a little bit of good. Yeah? Which means that you are not completely 100% on one side. Whoever you really love, you also hate the person. This is very hard to digest. You will say, how is it possible? My spouse, my child, my friend, my parent, I love 100%. No. Really go within. There is this little percentage of hatred there. And when something goes not according to my expectation, what do? My little 1% of hatred becomes 100% suddenly, and all my love becomes 1%. So you're seeing the yin yang. Now look at the picture. In the black part, there is one little white dot. Yeah. So whatever in the Ravan, there is 5% of Ram. Yeah, Ravan was not totally bad. And in the Ram, which is the white part, there is 5% of Ravan. Are you getting this? You are never 100% in something. There is always some little bit of negativity even in your most positive relationship. Are you getting this? Opposites are there in the relationship as well. No relationship can exist devoid of the opposites. That is why what does he say? Nobody belongs to me and I don't belong to anybody. Yeah. So he is not going either to the black side or the white side. This is very difficult to do in life, I know. But that is something, if you attain in life, you've achieved it. Yeah. Where you are a friend to all, but there is no great attachment to somebody or no great detachment from somebody. Did I clear that up or is that confusing?
Digesting.
So make this homework number 4. 4, na?
Yeah.
Homework number 4. Really check in your most closest relationship. It doesn't matter whether it is a spouse, a parent, a child, a friend. Yeah. Whatever relationships you have. Really see, there is a little bit of black in the white and there is a little bit of white in the black.
What do you do?
Like, just recognize it. That's it. You recognize it. Busunda's already given you the formula. Yeah, I do not belong to anybody and nobody belongs to me. Yeah, this is one step higher than becoming dispassionate. Yeah, if you can come to that state where you are friendly with all, but no attachment, no relationship with anybody, you have achieved it in life. For example, Gurudev. Yeah, he has that thing, that compassion, that space of love within his heart for everybody equally. Yeah, no extra attachment or relationship with anybody, but no enmity also. Not this way, not that way. In the center. Yeah. I remember when Amma and Pitaji were there, they're not anymore, but when Amma and Pitaji were there, Gurudev, whenever Gurudev met them, yeah, it was just like he would meet us. There was no difference. There was absolutely no difference. Pitaji would actually touch Gurudev's feet whenever Pitaji met him. It didn't matter to Pitaji whether Gurudev was on the stage and there were thousands of people standing there. And what people will say, that the father is touching the son's feet. No such things Pitaji had in his head. Yeah? The same relationship with all, even with Amma. It's amazing. It's really amazing. Yeah? And we have such an example right in front of us. We are really lucky. Yeah? So easy to follow. Yeah? Nobody belongs to me and I do not belong to anybody. Just this one thing you contemplate on this week. Can you really become so dispassionate? Yeah, where you don't have any relationship to anybody. It doesn't matter who it is, but friendly with all, huh? You don't have to become nasty or hurting people or hateful. Yeah? You have to have that samatha, but at the same time, no special feeling or special relationship to one or two or three people. An equal feeling towards all. Yeah? Work on this today. So we are done with that paragraph? Not yet. I know that I am the world, its intelligence and all the activities in it. This is the secret of my longevity. Yes? What is the meaning of I am the world? It means I have created this. Whatever is my creation. It is I only. Yes? If it is I, and it is created by me, then what sense does it make if I become dukhi because of my own creation? Silly. Or I become sukhi because of my creation. Drop sukha and dukkha. Just be. That is the secret of longevity. Clear?
I think the last one got about pin drop silence.
It might hurt. Yeah, it might not feel very comfortable. but it is the truth. Yeah? In love there is hatred, and in hatred there is love. Yeah? So you examine all your relationships, forget all the previous homeworks I gave you. Focus on this one really. If you can understand this one thing, you've got it.
Actually, it is a big relief to me. It's a big relief.
Yes, it is a relief. Yeah, because your mind sometimes wants to cover up that part of you which is the hatred. Yeah, and does not want to acknowledge it, wants to suppress it. But now that you know, oh, that is the way the mind is, it is a big relief. Yeah, the way to get out of it, can I just pick the white part of the thing and drop the black? No, it's a part of it. If I want to get rid of it, I have to drop both. Yes, dropping both means friendship with all. Yeah, but relationship with none. Yeah. Contemplate on this week. Now, I shouldn't receive calls from your families, huh? What did you do to my spouse? He or she says no relationship with you anymore. Finished. No, that's not what I said. Okay. Any other questions? I'll see you on Friday. Jai Gurudev.